Have you ever felt like you're just running on a giant financial hamster wheel? You know the feeling. You wake up, earn a paycheck, pay the rent, buy groceries, pay down that credit card, and suddenly your bank account is right back to zero. You work hard, right? You're smart. You spend hours trading your very life energy for money, yet you look at the future and just feel this quiet, persistent anxiety. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a trip from the stressed-out streets of our modern cities all the way back to the wealthiest city of the ancient world, Babylon. We're going to uncover how a set of rules, literally carved into clay tablets 3,000 years ago, still dictates exactly how money flows through our digital bank accounts today.
Seriously, ask yourself, are you stuck in that loop? Trading your life energy for cash, paying everyone else's bills, and ending up with absolutely nothing left for yourself at the end of the month? If that's a yes, trust me, you are not alone. And the secret to breaking this cycle? It isn't some complex high-frequency trading algorithm or jumping on the latest speculative meme coin. No way. The answer lies in mastering the fundamental, unchanging laws of money. To really grasp this, we don't need to look any further than a guy named Ben-Seir. He was a highly skilled chariot builder in ancient Babylon. I mean, this guy worked tirelessly in the blistering sun, bending wood, hammering bronze. But despite all that back-breaking work, he was completely broke. Now, contrast him with his childhood friend Arcad, who grew up to become the richest man in Babylon. They sat in the exact same classrooms, they played the same games. So what was the difference? Arcad actually learned the foundational rules of wealth, while Ben-Seir just kept grinding harder. Wealth doesn't just magically appear from hard work. It comes from knowing how the game is actually played.
When the king of Babylon realized his city was struggling, he brought Arcad in to teach the citizens his secrets. Which brings us to part 1, the 7 Babylonian cures.
Okay, let's dive into this. The very first cure Arcad taught was incredibly simple, yet almost everybody fails to do it. You must pay yourself first by saving exactly 1/10, 10% of your earnings. Think of it like this. If you put 10 eggs in a basket every single morning, but only take out 9 every evening, what happens? Eventually, that basket is going to overflow. The absolute second your paycheck hits your account, 10% needs to be completely, literally off-limits.
When young Arcad was learning these laws from a wealthy moneylender, he was given the ultimate reality check. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. The lender told him, look, if you pay the baker, the shoemaker, and the landlord, but you never actually pay yourself, you might as well be a slave, working just for food and clothing. You have to realize that every single gold coin or dollar you save is a servant that works for you.
Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Come on, how can I save 10% when I can barely cover my bills? Well, that brings us to the second cure, controlling your expenditures. We absolutely have to separate our basic survival needs from our modern desires. There's this concept called Parkinson's Law, which basically says our necessary expenses will always magically inflate to match our income. You get a raise, you suddenly need a nicer car, or you eat out more, and suddenly you're broke all over again, just at a higher income level. By cutting out those luxury wants that are disguised as needs, you protect that 10% without actually sacrificing your true quality of life.
Once you have that 10% tucked away, we move to the third cure, making your money multiply. A hoard of cash in a shoebox does absolutely nothing for you. But when you invest it, it starts small, it grows a little bit, and then it builds and builds. And suddenly it accelerates, multiplying rapidly as the interest starts earning its own interest. This is the absolute magic of compound interest. Your money starts working for you while you sleep, creating an unstoppable exponential stream of wealth. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of that multiplication. Let's say you save a flat $100 a month under your mattress for 40 years. You get $48,000. Not bad. But if you invest that exact same $100 into a modern vehicle, like a broad market index fund, earning around 8%, you end up with over $349,000. To put that in perspective, it's the exact same amount of your own money out of pocket, but the investment vehicle creates hundreds of thousands of dollars in brand new wealth.
But here is where we need the fourth cure. Guard your treasures from loss. We always have to remember that high return usually equals high risk. Greed is a massive trap. Actually, scratch that, it's more like a financial minefield. We see it constantly today, right? Get-rich-quick schemes, super volatile meme stocks, crypto coins promising you will be a millionaire by Tuesday. Arcad's rule is strict. Never invest in a business you don't fully understand, and only take advice from people who actually have a proven track record of keeping money safe.
Arcad's final 3 cures really round out the foundation. First, make your dwelling a profitable investment. Whether you buy a home to build equity or you optimize your rent to save more, your housing situation has to support your financial growth. Next, ensure a future income. Look, we are all going to get older, so utilizing retirement accounts and getting proper insurance, completely non-negotiable. And finally, the ultimate cure. Increase your ability to earn. Your greatest asset isn't a stock, it's your own human capital. Read the books, take the courses, continuously upgrade your skills. Because the more valuable you are to the marketplace, the more money you can command.
After hearing all this, someone asked Arcad about the goddess of good luck. Arcad explained it perfectly by comparing a procrastinator to a man of action. He told this story about a merchant who hesitated to buy a ridiculously cheap piece of land because he was waiting for a slightly better deal. Well, a man of action swooped right in, bought it, planted an olive grove, and became incredibly wealthy. The procrastinator lost out on the whole shebang. The truth? Luck doesn't hang around lotteries. The goddess of good luck only embraces those who are prepared and take immediate action when an opportunity knocks.
Let's move to and see how this builds in part 2, the 5 laws of gold. Arcad didn't just hand his massive fortune to his son Nomasir, he made him earn it. He sent young Nomasir out into the world with a bag of gold and a clay tablet of wisdom. But Nomasir was arrogant. He quickly lost every single penny on bad horse bets and terribly incompetent business partners. Hitting absolute rock bottom, he finally swallowed his pride and read the tablet, discovering these 5 magnetic laws of gold. He totally transformed his life by following this exact list. He saved 10% consistently, found profitable investments, sought wise counsel, avoided businesses he didn't understand, and fled the tricksters. 10 years later, Nomasir returned to his father as a ridiculously wealthy merchant, bringing back 3 times the original gold.
But I hear you asking, what if I'm already drowning in debt? That brings us to part 3, the 70-20-10 debt formula. An incredible debt-clearing system literally dug up by a British archaeologist in 1934.
Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is how beautifully it balances human psychology. Most modern debt advice tells you to throw every single spare penny at your debt, which just leaves you feeling completely deprived and miserable. This ancient camel trader's formula is totally different. Check this out. You live on 70% of your income to fund your present. You use 20% to proportionally pay down all your creditors to clear your past. And crucially, you still save 10% to fund your future. You are paying off your past, living in your present, and building wealth all at the exact same time. It gives you momentum, and more importantly, it gives you hope.
Now, as your wealth starts growing, people are going to ask you for money. A young spearmaker named Rodin once came into a large sum of gold, and his sister practically begged him to lend it to her completely inexperienced husband to start a shop. Rodin went to Mathon, the gold lender of Babylon, who gave him a stark, heavy warning. Better a little caution than a great regret. Mathon explained that lending to a risky borrower without skills or collateral is an absolute recipe for disaster. If you want to help family or friends, don't do it by risking your entire fortune. You have to evaluate the risk objectively.
This leads us right into part 4, the value of hard work. Through the story of the merchant Sharu Nada and his spoiled protege, we get a powerful reminder for today's passive income-obsessed culture. Hard work isn't a curse. It is actually a privilege, a source of true dignity, and the vehicle that attracts opportunity.
So, the crucial point is, how do we actually apply these ancient parables to our wallets today? Let's transition to part 5, your modern wealth plan, and look at the concrete steps.
Here is your 3,000-year-old wealth plan, mapped directly onto modern life. Step 1. Automate your banking app to save 10% the literal second you get paid. Step 2. Control your budget by ruthlessly cutting out those fake needs. Step 3. Invest that 10% wisely into broad market index funds so it actually multiplies. Step 4. Protect your downside. Run away from those get-rich-quick schemes. Step 5. If you've got debt, deploy that 70-20-10 system immediately. And Step 6. Continuously invest in your own education to boost your earning power.
You see, human nature doesn't change. The exact same rules that built the towering golden walls of Babylon are the rules that will build the walls of your financial freedom today. It doesn't take a genius IQ, it just takes discipline and consistency. So I'll leave you with this. Which of these ancient cures are you going to implement today? It is time to stop running on that hamster wheel and finally let your money start working for you.
Please like and subscribe.